Alrighty, well, in this video, I was going to start going over what Ethereum is. Now, Ethereum is a decentralized open source blockchain featuring smart contract functionality, and Ether is the native cryptocurrency of the platform. It is the second largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization after Bitcoin, and Ethereum is the most actively used blockchain. Alright, so now we're gonna go over some notes that I have about what Ethereum is. Let me bring them up real quick. Alright, so Ethereum is a blockchain 2.0 technology. It is dynamic and programmable. So to understand this better, you can compare it to websites when they first started. There was just static websites, but when Web 2.0 happened, this was when JavaScript was added to browsers, and this allowed for dynamic and programmable websites. Blockchain before Ethereum was like the Internet 1.0. Ethereum is all about smart contracts. Smart contracts are small pieces of code that run on the Ethereum blockchain. You can do this with a programming language called Solidity, and these contracts are completely unstoppable. You can see what is happening in the smart contract. The smart contract can own and decide what to do with money or other things like non-fungible tokens. For instance, you could set up a contract that when certain parameters are met, it will do a certain thing. Like if you needed to pay someone when they completed a task, the smart contract can look to see if that task is completed and then pay out once it is completed. It is programmable money. Instead of trusting any third party, you can do business on the blockchain without any third parties or having to trust anyone else at all. This allows us to move into a new world with programmable assets and money. Everything is at everyone's fingertips. You do not need fintech connections to create your own financial applications. Also, this is really good for transparency. For instance, with governments, it would be a lot better if everything they did financially was on the blockchain, so everyone would know exactly where the money is going. Nobody can go and change how a smart contract behaves. In Bitcoin, you only have transactions. On Ethereum, you can have whole financial applications. Ethereum is about transparency, removing the middlemen and giving financial instruments that were only available to the elite before to the entire world. Ethereum is completely trustless and completely transparent. So now we will be going over what an Ethereum virtual machine is. And just stay with me. I'm just kind of going over what Ethereum actually is. If you're having a hard time grasping what it is, it's okay now. I'm going to have videos that go over how to utilize Ethereum, how to interact with different decentralized applications, and much more. Okay, so EVM, or Ethereum Virtual Machine, makes it possible to execute code on the network in a way that everyone is in consensus. Smart contracts are small pieces of code. So a simple program, all programs are just instructions that your CPU will execute. In Ethereum, when you are executing a smart contract, there is no one single CPU. There is a network of computers that all have a CPU. So how does a program execute over all these computers? An Ethereum virtual machine is a piece of code that all the machines that have nodes are running. EVM is running on top of the hardware of each node. Good things with the EVM is it can read and execute smart contracts. CPU on computers are executing it, but not directly. EVM will tell the CPU of the computers what to do. The EVM will look at the instructions and tell the CPU to execute them, and it will reach a result. All of the EVMs on all of the nodes need to do this. They all need to reach the same result. All the nodes need to reach the same conclusion. The CPU does not directly execute the smart contracts. The reason that you need the EVM is for security reasons. If someone made a malicious smart contract, it would be horrible if it ran directly on your CPU. EVM protects you from things like this. Solidity is kind of like JavaScript. Then you have a compiler that will compile the solidity down to bytecode that the EVM can read and understand. Right now, Ethereum is working on a new language called Viper. The EVM does not care what language you use as long as it gets the bytecode. So how did Ethereum start? Vitalik wanted for all of this to be created on Bitcoin. But the thing is that Bitcoin has some programmability with its language script. Script language Bitcoin is not Turing complete. It cannot solve all problems if you wanted to program an application in it. Solidity is a Turing complete language. A Turing complete language will have loops, and Bitcoin developers said we do not want our network to get spammed. So that is when Vitalik went and started Ethereum. In Ethereum, you have the blockchain. The blockchain now has all the transactions that ever happened. There are no UTXOs in Ethereum. But you also have the code for all smart contracts, and then you also have the state of all smart contracts. An application can be in different states on Ethereum. The first state is when the smart contract is empty with nothing in it. It has nothing. The second state, the contract has money and is waiting. In the third state, the smart contract is checking. In the fourth state, the contract takes action doing what it's supposed to do. Then it will be empty again, paying out. All nodes must keep track of all smart contracts and the state of each contract in it. Anything running on Ethereum is unstoppable. Nobody can go and stop the smart contract from doing what it was designed to do. So now we're going to go over the UTX model versus the account model. Bitcoin uses the UTXO model. In Ethereum, you have the account model. On Ethereum, you have a balance. You do not have UTXOs on Ethereum. A transaction in Ethereum does not have inputs and outputs like in Bitcoin. It just moves from account A to account B. So this means the transaction takes less space than with Bitcoin. The account model on Ethereum is a bit more fungible because you can track each transaction. It means you cannot see the difference in coins. With Bitcoin, you can track the history of each individual coin. So we're going to go over Ethereum gas. Gas is very important. Solidity is a Turing complete, so you can create loops in your code. The Ethereum network has a limited amount of memory, CPU, and storage. You have a programming language that is not limited. All prices are set in gas for doing different things on the Ethereum blockchain. The reason you do this is to set the relationship. What are tokens? You can build smart contracts on Ethereum, and a smart contract can represent its own cryptocurrency. Ether is a coin, and all tokens built on top of Ethereum are tokens. ERC20 standard defines how you will program these tokens. It's good to have a standard so that all exchanges and wallets can support the new tokens being created. There are many different types of tokens. One of the most popular are fungible tokens. This is the ERC20 standard. These are identical tokens. There is nothing different between the tokens. ERC 721 and ERC 1155 there are also non-fungible tokens called NFTs. This is used for things like in-game collectibles, and each of the tokens has different properties. Every token is unique. You can create new currencies, new items, and new ecosystems. The same naming conventions are used as well as the same standards. This allows everything to communicate with each other. So, blockchain as an investment. Web evolution from Web 1.0 to then Web 2.0 brought innovation because of JavaScript. Things like Google, WhatsApp, Facebook, and more captures a lot of the value, but it failed to capture value on the protocol level. All the value went to the applications being built on top of it. Blockchain, it's different. Most of the value is captured on the protocol level. There are so many tokens that depend on Ethereum. Smart contracts are sometimes called dApp. A smart contract is a small piece of code. A dApp is more the entire experience. Web 3.0 is what we are heading into now. Whenever any dApps execute instructions, they need Ethereum token to do so. You need to be able to pay the gas fees. The more demand you have, the higher the price can go. All these apps and dApps and smart contracts try to build their own economy. With Web 3.0, many people are experimenting with niche economic models. Steam Social Network has their own token, not on Ethereum. When you contribute to the social network, you are creating value for the network. You as a user get value, and you are rewarded for your contribution to the network. This is what Web 3.0 is all about. With Web 3.0, you have another dynamic on the internet. Small businesses will be able to compete with giants like Google and Facebook. When you look at it, if you were an early adopter in a lot of these, you would have got many tokens that are now worth a fortune. So this is just kind of an introduction to Ethereum. In my next video, I'm going to be going over how to get MetaMask installed on your computer and how to interact with some of these decentralized applications. So stay tuned, and everyone have a great rest of your day.